So as you guys know, I have the Halo View rear view camera on my fifth wheel, and it worked intermittently when I first hooked it up, but then they sent me an extension antenna which boosted the signal and gave me a pretty clear picture until I hit the road. Once I was traveling with it, that picture became very intermittent. It really did not perform the way I wanted it to, and it was probably because when you stack my truck in front of a 40-foot fifth wheel, there was a range issue, probably also coupled with the fact that the truck's made out of aluminum, so it partially shielded that. Anyways, the folks at Halo View sent me a new system, and I want to show you what the differences are and what it's all about. So the system that I originally installed was the MC7101 series, and this is the MC7108. The biggest difference between the two is the range. The 7101 had about a 350-foot range, whereas the 7108 here has about a 984-foot range line to sight. The resolution on the screen of the old system was very low, whereas they've upped it significantly to 1024 by 600 on this specific system. And it is now packaged with a high-definition camera capable of 720p. Also, they've removed the dual antenna ports, and there's only a single antenna port on the top of the monitor on this particular system. In the past, you had two of them, one on each side on the top. Now you only have one. Now, what I really like about this system, and the biggest standout, is the fact that it comes with the 12-volt car adapter and a pigtail conversion cable that gives you the ability to connect it directly to a cigarette lighter plug in your vehicle. If you recall, on the first system, I had to make a plug. I had to basically take a cigarette lighter plug and I had to splice it onto the end of the power harness, and it never really looked as cosmetically appealing as I think it should have. But the new system has addressed that, and it's absolutely great. You can see from a side-by-side perspective that the systems look virtually identical. The monitors, all the keys are in the same place, the case is the same, all the ports, all the buttons, everything is identical, except for the fact that the new monitor only has a single antenna port, which is really nice. Now, the first step to getting this all set up is swapping all of the brackets and sun visor and magnets over to the new monitor. So the old one's on the left, the new one's on the right. I'm simply going to take everything and move it over. Thankfully, I'm not going to have to splice this 12-volt cord into the power lead for the new monitor. So I've already moved the bracket and the sun visor from the old screen, and I simply need to transfer it over to the new screen. Thankfully, it's very simple. All I have to do is press this little bracket around the outside of the screen. It'll snap in place. And then I'm just going to put the mounting bracket beneath it, and I'll just use the two little hand fasteners to attach it to the mounting points on the side of the monitor. Now, I don't want the monitor sitting too high on my dash, so I've essentially used the holes in the wrong spot on the bracket to move it down slightly. So basically what I did was I slid the monitor as close to the base of the bracket, and then I aligned the holes that would allow me to fasten it in that position, and it works out really, really well. Now that we have everything moved over to the new screen, we just have to go out to the RV, get everything connected with the camera, and we should be good to go. So I'll see you at the RV. So I am out here at the RV and got the new camera hooked up. I didn't have my little ladder and platform this time, so I was just standing on the back bumper. I lowered this little area, gave me a little bit more height to get up there. It took about 15 minutes to swap out. It really wasn't that difficult because I already had everything ran. All I did was swap the camera body itself out. I didn't swap the sun shield or the bracket since it's exactly the same. So if you have the same setup, it's going to be really easy if you want to make this upgrade and move to the higher end camera. But basically, I just fed the wire through the grommet in the center. It's inside of the coach, and just going to make the power connection. And I didn't show this in the original video I had made on the first system I installed, but behind this cabinet is an access panel I put back there to access the wires for the back camera in case I'd ever need to remove it or make any changes. I wouldn't have to remove the camera and the body itself. I could just do it from this cabinet from the inside of the coach. Makes things a lot easier. All right, let's see how this works.
Remember, I have to have power to my rear center clearance light in order for the camera to work. They also made it about 100 times easier by including an actual cigarette lighter plug that I don't have to splice on. It just has this little adapter which connects directly to the power for the camera. Now this is only going to work if you're going to use this as a reverse cam. If you're going to wire in the 3 additional cameras, you have to use a hardwire kit because each individual camera has its own trigger for when you want to view that camera. So I have it plugged in and I have the trailer lights turned off right now. I just need to screw this little antenna in up top. This is the reason why I'll probably just end up using the little extension antenna that I ran up here, mainly because this antenna kind of hits the windshield. Let's turn on the trailer lights and see what we see. Wow, it is a heck of a lot clearer. Definitely much more high resolution. You can tell just by looking at it. It's brighter. Kind of a bad angle because it's so bright behind the actual screen, but you should be able to see the very back. It looks really good. Now I'm going to unscrew the antenna that's included. Instantly I could kind of hear it break up a little bit. The volume at least, not the picture. I'm going to screw in the antenna I have. Oh yeah, you see the signal spike way up, and then when you take it off, yep, drops to nothing. So next time we take the RV out, we'll have a chance to see if I can actually use it while I'm driving, because it was really hit or miss and intermittent with the other system that I had. I could view the camera and everything while I was parked here in the shed, but the minute I took it out, it would really start going in and out, and I really couldn't use it consistently while driving. So I'm going to be real interested to see how this system works in its place. Anyways, guys, the system was extremely easy to swap out. Everything was already in place. It was plug and play. The brackets, the mounts, everything were identical, so I didn't have to do anything other than swap the monitor out and swap the camera body itself out. It really took, you know, total, I'd probably say if you had everything out at your coach at the time you were doing it, maybe 15 minutes to do the entire swap. You probably won't even break a sweat. Anyways, guys, just wanted to give you a quick follow-up and update. I'll put the link in the description of this video to where you can buy the camera system. I like to put the Amazon link, but I don't know if it's available yet, but I will find out, and if it is, I will post it there. Guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.